Good afternoon, children. We were reading the first war of independence, 1857. We have completed the lesson, and in our previous class, ABC part also we have done. So today we will do the question answer parts of D and E. One by one I will show you the answers where it is written in your book, and then I will share PDF also with you. You will note it down in your history notebook. First you see the D first question. What is here written? The revolt of 1857 was the landmark in the history of India's struggle for independence. Landmark means what? It was very important in India's history of freedom struggle, and we have to show that how this 1857 revolt was the landmark in the history of India's struggle for independence. And how many points we have to write? Justify the statement with any three arguments. And for this answer, take out page number 126. Here you see the very first line is written, the revolt of 1857 was the landmark in the history of India's struggle for freedom. You have to show 3 points in it. First point you can write here in second paragraph. Here you can write different sections of the society like peasants, artisans, soldiers, educated Indians and many Indian rulers joined hands to fight heroically against the foreign rule. It will be first point, that they fought very bravely. All the sections of the society joined in this revolt. Second point you can write, Hindus and Muslims also came together to oppose the foreign domination. Second point we can write that this revolt showed the unity between Hindus and Muslims. Then third point we can write here only, it was the first time that different sections of Indian society united and fought as one nation to throw off the shackles of foreign dominations. So these 3 points in the first answer you can write. First point will be different sections of the society joined this revolt. Second point will be unity between Hindus and Muslims. And third point that only different sections of Indian society united and fought as one nation to throw off the shackles of foreign domination. Now come to question number D2. Second question is, what was the doctrine of lapse and how did it affect the rulers of India? What was doctrine of lapse? You know, Lord Dalhousie introduced this policy. According to this policy, if any Indian ruler dies without leaving his natural hire, then his or her kingdom would automatically become the part of British kingdom. And how did it affect the rulers of India? Because many states were annexed by the Britishers on this plea only. So in this question, what was the doctrine of lapse and how did it affect the rulers of India? First you take out page number 126. Here in this paragraph you see the policy of annexation. What was doctrine of lapse? It was a policy of annexation introduced by whom? Lord Dalhousie. Here this sentence is, the policy of annexation of Dalhousie, particularly the doctrine of lapse, created fear and resentment among Indian rulers. How did it affect? Indian rulers were very afraid and unhappy because what was in this policy? They were not allowed to adopt heir to the throne, and this policy ensured that those kingdoms where the kings did not have natural heir would be taken over by the British after the demise of the kings, means after the death of the king. So it affected the Indian rulers because their territory was annexed by the Britishers. So Indian rulers were badly affected with this doctrine of lapse. Now come to the third question. The third question is, explain subsidiary alliances. Subsidiary alliances was a policy that you have to explain with the help of examples. Means example also you have to give that way on which place this policy was introduced. So for this answer, take out page number 126. On this page, here in political cause, this is political causes, the last paragraph you see, the British signed many treaties with the kings and nawabs but violated them. Means they only did not follow it as per their convenience. One such treaty signed with Awadh, you will give the example of Awadh. Subsidiary alliance was a policy in which the Indian rulers had to keep a resident in their kingdom and for their military protection, for getting military protection, and in return they were giving money also. But what was the Britishers' intention? Main intention was to keep the other European powers away. So here it is, one such treaty signed with Awadh was subsidiary alliance. This treaty was signed in which year? 1801. And the Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was compelled. For example, you can write. For example, in Awadh, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was compelled to accept the permanent British army. Means Indian rulers, in this policy, Indian rulers had to keep a British resident for military protection within their territory and to pay a subsidy for its maintenance. Subsidy means for they had to pay some amounts for its maintenance. He could not recruit any other European in his service without prior approval. He had to station, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah had to station a resident. I told you, in subsidiary alliance, Indian rulers had to keep a resident in their court for military protection, and in return they were giving money, subsidy for their maintenance. But what was the main intention of the Britishers? To keep the other European powers away and keep an eye on Indian rulers. For example, you have to ask, you have to give example also. In example, what you can write? For example, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah had to station a resident in his court, and which reduced the power of the Nawab, and gradually the Indians lost all trust in the British. Awadh had been an ally of the East India Company for nearly a century. So this answer you can write from here. Although I will give you PDF, then also I am telling you from where you have to write the answer. Now come to next question of G part. And the next question is here, how did the economic policies of the British adversely affect the Indian economy? We all know Britishers wanted to gain more and more profit by introducing various types of policies, economic policies. In this question we have to write, how did the economic policies of the British adversely affect the Indian economy? And for this, this answer You will write from page number 126 in economic causes. You see, here it is. The policy of economic exploitation and destruction of the traditional Indian economic structure by the British caused widespread resentment among Indians. And which policy? The Jamindari system. How did it affect? We have to write the Jamindari system exploited the peasants who were forced to grow only those crops that the British industry required. Which crops British industries required? Cash crops to feed their industries as raw material. They were tortured or jailed on failure to pay the revenue in time. Means the farmers were tortured also, they were jailed also if they were unable to pay the revenue in time. Then industrial goods like textile from Britain flooded the Indian markets. They took raw material cotton from our country and then they flooded our markets with their machine made goods, and this destroyed Indian industries and made the artisans and peasants unemployed. That we can write in this answer. Now come to next question. Next question is, why is the revolt of 1857 called First War of Independence? So many times I have told you, because it was the first time that the Indians united against the mighty British power to break the shackles of independence on the Britishers. They wanted freedom. That's why this war is known as First War of Independence. And what were its immediate cause? You all know, introduction of Enfield rifle. So here we will write this answer from page number. First part of the answer you will write from page number 125. Here you see it is written, Indian historians call it the First War of Independence as it was the first time that different sections of Indian society united and fought as one nation to throw off the shackles of foreign domination. First part of the answer, why it is called First War of Independence, you will write it from here, First War of Independence, because it was the first time that different sections of Indian society united and fought as one nation to throw off the shackles of foreign domination. Then the second part of this question, you can write the immediate cause. Here on page number 127, it is written, introduction of Enfield rifle. I have told you, the cartridges of the new Enfield rifle had a greased paper cover which had to be bitten off before the cartridge was loaded into the rifle. It was said that the grease composed of beef and pig fat. Both the Hindus and the Muslims refused to use them. Why? Because cow is sacred to the Hindus and the pig is detestable to the Muslims, and that's why Mangal Pandey in Barakpur refused to use it. He was arrested, tried and executed. So it was the immediate cause of this revolt, and the second part answer of this question. Now come to first question. First question is, describe the course of the revolt of 1857. Course means what? How did it spread? How did it start and how did it spread to other parts of the country? That we have to write it in this answer. And for this answer, you take out page number 129. Here at the top you see course of the revolt is there. In this paragraph, it is written how did this revolt spread to other parts of the country. Like the sepoys broke out into an open revolt at Meerut in which month? April. Then this revolt was in Meerut regiment. It was started, sepoys revolted on May 10, 1857. They broke down the prison and released the imprisoned soldiers. Then they marched towards Delhi on May 11. Then they declared Bahadur Shah Zafar II as their leader. The revolt then spread to other places. And who led the revolt at which place, that also you can write. Then you can write the revolt also spread to Bareilly, Agra, Banaras and other places. Then who did not join the revolt, that also you can write. This was the course of the revolt. Now come to next question. This question is, describe 5 main causes of the First War of Independence. You all know the causes of First War of Independence. Political cause. First point we can write political cause. Within 2 lines we can summarize the point also. Explanation, short explanation also I will give you in PDF. But from this paragraph, from this political cause, you can write anything. Then second point was economic cause. In economic cause, this point you can write the policy of economic exploitation and the destruction of the traditional Indian economic structure by the British caused widespread resentment among Indians. Then next point we can write social and religious causes. In this we can write many Indians opposed the introduction of Western education and the conversion of Indians to Christianity. Hindu law of property was changed. Then here also we can write Indians were not allowed to travel in first class compartment. Britishers followed a policy of racial discrimination. They considered themselves as superiors. So these points this point we can explain it from here. Next was military causes. Military causes, as this revolt is also known as Sepoy Mutiny. It was started by the soldiers. So what were the military causes? The sepoys had helped the British to establish their empire in India, but instead of receiving any award or promotion, they were only humiliated by the British. There was discrimination also between Indian soldier and the British soldier. The highest pay given to an Indian sepoy or subedar was less than the minimum pay of a European recruit. And these regions we can write it under the heading of military causes. Then the last point is immediate causes. Immediate causes, you all know, now only we have discussed that introduction of Enfield rifle, in which cartridges were greased with the fats of cow and pigs, and before fitting the cartridges into the rifle, the soldiers had to bite it off with their teeth, and it hurt the sentiments of Hindu soldiers also as well as Muslim soldiers also, and they refused to use it. It was only immediate cause of this revolt. Now come to next question. What steps did the British take to suppress the revolt? We all know Britishers suppressed this revolt. Then by which steps they suppressed the revolt, that we have to write it. So take out page number 129. Here you see the last paragraph's heading is suppression of the revolt. How did the British suppress the revolt? That we have to write it. British military officers freed Delhi. Delhi was the epicenter, main center of the revolt. So first they freed Delhi, then the Kashmiri Gate was blown up. Then how did they suppress? Hundreds of people were killed. Then Bahadur Shah Zafar was tried for treason and exiled to Rangoon. Then his sons were also cruelly shot down as they were held guilty of the murder of the Englishmen, women and children. Then Lucknow was recaptured in 1858. Rani Lakshmi Bai was killed in the battle, and Tatya Tope was captured and hanged to death. These were the suppression steps made by the Britishers. In this way, they suppressed the revolt. Now come to next question. Next question is, why did the first war of independence fail? In spite of the participation of different sections of Indian society. Explain. In this question, we have to write causes of the failure of this revolt, and for that you take out page number 130. Here at the top you see it is written causes of the failure of the revolt. First point you can write earlier starting of the revolt. In this, what you can explain, the uprising had been planned for months, but it broke out before the appointed date. It did not go according to the plan, as the revolutionaries failed to spread it beyond central India and Delhi. Second point you can write lack of unity. There was no unity among the rebels. The ideas of nationalism had not yet developed, and there was no common ideology amongst the rebels. Third point you can write, rising was not widespread. It was confined to central and north India only. It was limited to north and central India. In the north, the Sikh, Nizam and Sindhiyas did not join the revolt. In north also. Then Gurkhas and Afghans remained loyal to the Britishers. Next point you can write, lack of modern weapons. The rebels, means the Indians who were revolting, could not match the sophisticated and modern weapons and the disciplined army of the British. Britishers' army was very disciplined. Their weapons were modern, and Indians were lacking in that. An organized communication system and military strategies led to British victory that was lacking in Indian soldiers. Last point you can write, lack of strong leadership. Who was the leader of this revolt? Bahadur Shah Zafar II. He was a very aged person. He was neither strong nor capable. The leadership of the revolt was neither strong nor gave directions to the rebels. The Indian rulers vowed to liberate their own territories and did not think about the freedom of the whole country. And that's why Britishers suppressed this revolt, and we were defeated in this revolt. This revolt was a failure. Means this revolt failed in spite of participation of different sections of the society. Now come to next question. What changes were made in the administration of India after the revolt was suppressed? And for that, here the last paragraph, result of the revolt, what changes were done? Here first point you can write, the rule of the East India Company ended with Queen Victoria's proclamation of November 1, 1858. Then second point you can write, Queen Victoria assumed the title of Empress of India. Third point, the British Crown took over the administration of India. Fourth point, a Secretary of State was appointed by the British Parliament to look after the governance of India. Means although the British Crown took over the control, but on behalf of British Crown, British Parliament was ruling with the help of a council. Then next point you can write, the Governor General was given the title of Viceroy, means the representative of the British Crown. So this was the last question of this lesson. Now come to map pointing. Take out page number 134. In this lesson, this map pointing is very important, children. All of you will do it on India's political map, you paste it in your history notebook, then submit it on our WhatsApp group. Your today's homework is to write the answers of D and E part and to do this map skill. Although I will give you PDF of everything, then you copy it down if you have any problem and then submit it on our WhatsApp group. Here, what is map skill? On an outline political map of India, locate and name the places to which the following leaders of the revolt of 1857 belong. Collect their pictures and paste them at the appropriate places. First, you can write Bahadur Shah Zafar. Bahadur Shah Zafar at which place? Delhi. Second, Begum Hazrat Mahal. At which place? You will paste the picture of Begum Hazrat Mahal, and at which place? Awadh. Mangal Pandey. At which place? Bengal, Barakpur. Tatia Tope. At which place? Kanpur. Rani Lakshmi Bai. At which place? Jhansi. Nana Saheb, Kanpur. Kuwar Singh, Ara in Bihar. So you will, if you get the pictures, then all right. Otherwise, you write the names and then locate it on their respective places. That's all for today. This lesson has been completed. Goodbye and thank you.